Guys, Akash here, and today let's look into a very interesting topic in Java called integer caching. So let's say if we create two integers with the value 128 and we try to check their equality using the double equal to operator, obviously we'll get a false value because integer is a class and a and b are objects of that class, so they both will be different. But now let's try to see what happens when we use the value 127. So when we use 127, we get a true value. And this is precisely because of integer caching in Java. So what happens in Java is the numbers from minus 128 to 127 are cached in the integer class. And hence, when we try to give the value 127 to two different integer objects, they refer the same memory location from the integer cache because there is only one object created in the cache and that same is being reused. So A and B are pointing to the same object and hence their equality gives us true. But this does not happen for the value 128 because 128 is not in that set of 256 numbers ranging from minus 128 to 127. We can check that as well. We can go to the integer class and we can see the value of method in the integer class and see what it is doing here is it is checking if the value we are trying to get is between the low and high value. So low is minus 128 and high is what is predefined or what we can alter. So in our case it is 127. If the value is between 1 minus 128 to 127, then it is returning to us from the integer cache. And if not, then it will create a new integer object and return to us, right? So, okay, let's confirm this by another approach. What we can do is we can print the memory location that A and B are holding. We can do that by using the utility of identity hash code, and we can see for A and B both. So in this case, when it is 127, you will observe that it is pointing to the same memory location. If you see here, and when we are using 128, it will be pointing to two different memory locations. Yeah. So this was integer caching. Now let's try to understand what can be a use case where integer caching can be proved advantageous. So let's say if you have a use case where you need to create a map and you need to create a map where the key is a character and the value is integer. So this, let's say if you have to create the count, if you have to store the count of alphabets in a sentence, right? So in this case, you will create the data structure something like this. Now let's say all of the letters in the sentence can give us different counts, right? So let's say for the letter A, the count is coming out to be 5. For letter E, the count is coming out to be 3. For now, let's just stick to these two characters. So for the character A, when the count is being updated to 5, the value will be updated 5 times. First time from 0 to 1, then from 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4, and then 4 to 5. So 5 integer objects will be created, right, to hold the 5 values, and the value of the map will eventually hold the value 5. This is for character A, right? Now for character E, when the count will be updated to 3 finally, so it will not have to create three new integers because the integer cache will already be holding the values 1 to 5. So when the calculation will be happening for the character E, the the integers 1, 2, and 3 will be used from the integer cache. So this is one use case where the integer caching can prove advantageous. And the by default set of cached integers is from minus 128 to 127, but we can increase this set of cached integers. We can do that by having a JVM argument called AutoBoxCacheMax. So this is a JVM argument that can be altered to have the high value. Okay, then yeah. So lastly, coming to advantages, what can be the advantages? So the core advantage will be memory optimization because new integer objects will not be created, so memory will be optimized. And because objects will not be created, so garbage collection will not also happen, and hence the overhead of garbage collection will be reduced. So this was all that I wanted to share about integer caching in Java. Hope you liked it. Thank you.